And I knew this was a huge area that people don't like to talk about, because nobody wants to talk about money, or if you owe me money or if I owe you money. So I thought, I'm going to set up a business that actually does this for other businesses. But it was a risk, and I know people thought I was mad in the beginning, but I knew I wasn't. I said, once you can prove your worth, deliver top quality service, they will tell other businesses about you, and that's how you grow a business. And you have to be able to stand behind your product or service and say, I deliver quality every single time. And if sometimes that means I have to lose money for one account, I'll make it back. If I meet somebody that's just all about money and not about quality, I know, I can smell that. I don't want to do business with them. I want to do business with people who are proud of what they do, and I knew that if I delivered that top quality service, you'll eventually get paid what you deserve.
This is the first woman I ever met in my life has different thought about independent, and you're the first one.
Okay.
I'm going to say congratulations.
Okay.
Please welcome to one only, the most amazing woman, businesswoman from Dublin.
Hi, my name is Sharon FARRELL. I run a company called Face Credit Consultancy. So,
thank you for coming in.
Thank you so much.
You're most welcome. Tell me about yourself a little bit.
Okay, so I grew up in Dublin. I live in Kildare now. I worked in the financial sector for 20 years, and then in 2019 I decided to set up my own company.
On 2019?
Yes.
Okay.
So yeah, I had worked, I kind of felt that for all the years I really enjoy work. I always enjoyed my work. Everywhere I worked, I would work very hard. I never did 9 to 5, I do 9 to 9. I always did overtime, and I always enjoyed work. But I felt after 20 years, I was like, it's the same job, but a different company. I felt like I was grown. I wasn't growing anymore. I wasn't learning anything else. So I had always dreamt about setting up my own business, but it was never the right time. Because when I was younger, I had my first 2 children when I was very young, and that relationship didn't work out. So I was a single parent for a long time, and I was afraid to take the risk. So when they were a little bit older, I decided, okay, it's my time now. I'm going to take the risk and set up my own business. So I was on the way to see my son. He's in Canada. He lives in Canada. And on the flight there, I decided I'm going to set up my own business. So I thought about my skill set. I first of all thought that I had to think of a new idea, like an amazing product or something that nobody else had thought about. But then I started to think, how could I utilise my skill set, things that I had learned over the past 20 years, and create a business from that. So then I decided, okay, what are my skill set? What am I really good at? And how can I bring that to businesses? So I thought I could just start a business doing what I'm good at and offer that to companies. So I thought about, okay, I'm really good at debt collection. Okay, that's what I really was an expert at for over 20 years in businesses. If they needed to get cash in from clients that owed the money, I was really good at it. But not because I was aggressive, because I had a unique way of collecting outstanding money where we didn't fight, but you were happy to pay me, and we ended as friends. So I thought, I can do this for other businesses. I know that I can. And I can teach other people how to do this. And I can explain to them about cash flow and cash flow forecasting and finances and the importance of collecting outstanding invoices and how to credit check somebody. And I knew this was a huge area that people don't like to talk about, because nobody wants to talk about money, or if you owe me money or if I owe you money. So I thought, I'm going to set up a business that actually does this for other businesses. And I said, I'm really good at it. So I thought, why not utilise what I've learned over 20 years and deliver that to other businesses? So that's what I decided on that flight. I decided the 3 services that I was going to deliver.
It was a 6-hour flight.
Yeah, but I had a delay of 7 hours.
Okay.
So, and for the first time in my life, I wasn't sad that I had a delay of 7 hours because I just written everything out. I said, right, okay, this is what I'm good at. These are the 3 services that I can offer. So I said, I can offer outsourced credit control. I can offer training for teams or business people or business owners, and I can offer consultancy where I can go in and talk about best practices in your business when it comes to finance, credit management, debt management. And that's where it all started. So when I came home, I had a business plan, and I really just started from there.
Did you discuss with anybody else?
No, not initially. I didn't. And then when I came home, I spoke with my husband. He thought I was mad. He was like, you went on holiday and now you're leaving your job. And I know it sounded crazy because it was a really good job. I was very well paid. I was quite happy there, but I wasn't learning. I wasn't growing. I wasn't developing. I was just going to be stale. And I said, I just can't do this. I want to try and set up my own business. And I thought if it doesn't work, I'm employable. I can go back and get another job. But it didn't work.
On 2019, you risk it.
Yeah.
And then when the time you open your business and COVID-19 hit on March.
Yeah.
And take me on March, how did you, on this, you're struggling the business, you open a new business and the business shut it down, and how did you survive?
Okay, so I had started in August 2019.
Okay.
And I had one client, one very big client. And on the day that the country locked down, that client said to me, we don't need you anymore because there's a pandemic and we don't need your services. So I remember driving home that day and thinking, I'm going to sell my car, but I'm not giving up on this dream. I'm going to keep my business going.
You're a fighter.
I said, I'm not, if I have to sell my car, I will, but I'm not going to give up on my dream. So I thought about what I could do. I didn't know anything about Zoom. So I started delivering online training courses to business owners and teams, credit teams in Ireland. And that kind of kept me going. So, you know, I started then. I had never, ever in my life posted a social media video. And I started then in 2019 or in 2020. I started to do education videos around credit management, debt management, how to collect money, what to say on the phone, how to handle difficult customers. And it started to get reach. And then I started to get inquiries, and then people wanted training. So that kind of really took off, and it gave me confidence. Because I said, people are interested in what I have to say. And it is an area that a lot of people don't know about.
I think each business, they need your service.
Yeah.
Because we go into this trouble, you know, and then people owe us money.
Yeah.
And it's hard to get it from them. Or we owe people money. So you can't, you know, it's always a both way.
Yeah.
And then your service is really, really good in Ireland.
Yeah.
And they need your service, they need your help. What was the hardest time you're going through in this business?
I think for me it was when I had taken on my first employee. So I decided, so it had grown in 2020, and then, but I was doing everything. I was doing the delivery of all of the training courses, all of the social media. I was also collecting for my clients, so there was only me in the business in 2020. So I said, I'm going to take on my first employee, and I did. And we shared the load, and then the business started. So she was going to do the collecting and all of the bits and pieces, and I was going to go out and grow the business and get new business and new clients in. And it was working really well. So I started to really grow the business, and I think the hardest part for me was when she left. So she left and I didn't see it coming. So I relied on her so much. And just as we were like gonna explode, like gonna really start to take off, and we were gonna take on new employees, she left. And that was very, very difficult, because then I had to get new employees in and had to train everybody up.
Yes.
And I had put so much work into her, to training her the way I wanted things done. And I didn't think that she was going to leave. And that was very, very difficult, because I had taken on lots of new clients. We had new junior team members that had started like the day before. And then she was leaving. And it was like really, really difficult, because I thought, what am I going to do? But I just rolled up my sleeves. I trained up all the new people. I went back doing the work myself, and I said, we have a 4-month period where I'm just going to have to steady this ship. And I did. And then I got really good staff. I got lucky. I got really, really good staff. Spent 4 to 6 months training them up. And then we were ready to grow again, and we did.
That's really, really nice. Like it looks like you went a hard journey.
Yeah.
And then successfully you've done it.
Yeah.
And I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
You know, like really, really, it's not easy journey.
No.
It's not easy. People think it's easy to find a client and go chase the client. Say, hey, I have this service. If somebody come up to me like, I have this service, you're like, I'm good enough. But when I was talking to you, before the camera started, and then the services say, like, I learn a lot from you, really.
Okay.
Maybe in the future we can work together or something.
Okay.
What's like when you called the client, and what was they offering you? Like, what was your offer to the client?
On my very first client or now?
The first client and the new client.
Okay, so when I started originally, I thought people were going to want a consultancy. So I thought they were going to want me to come in and tell them what to do, but they didn't. They just wanted me to do the work. So, like,
when you say work, what do you mean for work?
Like collect the money. So they were going to give me all of their customers, say, please get all that money in for me.
Okay.
So originally I thought they were going to say, teach my staff how to do this, but they didn't. They wanted me to do it.
To go personally.
Yeah, so to do it, and so for my first clients, I lost money. I told you this.
Yeah.
So my first clients, but I really believed, and I don't know if it was the right thing to do, but it was for me, that if I deliver top quality service for this client, and I went above and beyond, and I really, really did. I did everything, and I wasn't being paid enough for it. And I brought them through we would have got them around July 2020. I brought them for that year through COVID. And
everything. You helped so much, and they didn't pay you enough.
They didn't pay me enough.
This is bad, this is really, really bad.
It was also my fault, because this is what I had agreed with them. So it's not that they were being bad. I was probably naive. I really wanted one big client, because I said, if I get one big client and I do a really, really good job, they will tell other people, and then I can start charging properly. And then when I have other clients, I can go back to them and say, these are my new prices. This is what I expect to be paid now. And it was a gamble. And I know it was a gamble, but it worked, because I thought, I really believe in quality. I believe in delivering top quality service for your clients. And I look at other businesses, say Apple, and when they started their business, they were passionate about the product. They weren't thinking of the money. They were thinking about building the best at the time.
Yes.
Yeah. And the best product. So I took that kind of mindset and said, I really want to deliver a really, really good service for clients. I want our brand and services and our business name to be like up here. So people say they deliver top quality every single time. But I needed people to know who I was and to experience that service and say, yeah, they are that good. And Ireland is a small place. So I said, if I deliver for one or two clients and I go above and beyond and I take the risk of not making as much money, I believe that I can grow the business that way.
The world is the biggest marketing in the planet. Social media, all this, the other platform media, is not big enough as the world is big enough.
Yeah.
Because as we do business, we always sit around with other business people,
Yeah.
We always talk about something to get new from them. They give us something new, for return. And then obviously your name is there,
Yeah.
That's the biggest market. And then
and you have to be able to stand behind your product or service and say, I deliver quality every single time. And if sometimes that means I have to lose money for one account, I'll make it back. But I think if I meet somebody that's just all about money and not about quality, I know, I can smell that, and I don't want to do business with them. I want to do business with people who are proud of what they do, and I knew that if I delivered that top quality service, you'll eventually get paid what you deserve, and you can eventually ask for that. But I had to prove that on day one, because I didn't have any customers. Nobody knew who I was. Nobody knew who Sharon Farrell was. Face Credit Consultancy didn't exist. So I had to build the brand from scratch, and I took the risk.
Like, you are the brand.
Yes.
You are the brand.
And so I had to say, this is what we deliver. And it worked. But it was a risk. And I know people thought I was mad in the beginning, but I knew I wasn't. I said, once you can prove your worth, deliver top quality service, They will tell other businesses about you, and that's how you grow a business.
And did you anytime refuse any business? Say,
Did I refuse business?
Yeah. So I don't want to deal with it.
Yeah, I did. I did. Not initially. I took every bit of business that I could get. But if I felt, because collecting money is a very sensitive thing, and if I felt that they weren't in line with my ethos, I would say no. So there was one company that wanted to collaborate with me, and they weren't in line with my ethos. I believe in respect. You can collect outstanding invoices, but you should have respect for everybody. And it can be done in a way that, you know, we treat everybody the way we want to be treated. And so they kind of weren't in line with that, but they were a very, very big business. And I refused to go into business with them, and they threatened me and said, we're going to, you know, you won't grow in this country because of us. We're going to make sure every business you go after, we're going to go ahead of you. We're going to make sure that we stamp you out. I just said,
kind of like a threat.
It was a threat.
Just
100%. They said, I'm going to send a crew.
Can you give me the name after the show? Like, we're going to take this name.
Yeah. They did.
Now it's like with this personal, like.
But what I said to them was,
I'm going to my buddy. You know?
What I said to them was, you're threatened by me because me saying no shouldn't mean anything. Your business is way bigger than mine. And so I knew then, and I said, your customers are not my customers, because my customers want to grow their business. They want to collect outstanding invoices, but they want to do it in a way that is respectful, with integrity. And you don't do business like that. So I don't want to associate my brand with you. And they just couldn't believe it. But I said no. They didn't harm my business.
They can't harm your
They
business
didn't.
anyway. Who's going to harm Sharon?
Yeah, no.
Who has that power?
No, they didn't.
And when you say, people owe the company owe money, what's the lowest and what's the highest?
Any money, so I would take, so what our company does is we're not a debt collection agency. So I just don't take one off. Yeah, so we would take your whole debtor book, and then we would act on your behalf, but we would use your branding, your email address, and a phone number that's associated with you. So nobody knows that a third party's involved. We're with a debt collection agency, and there's a big difference between credit management and debt collection. So debt collection is where I want to collect the money off you, but our relationship is over. That's what I believe debt collection is. What I believe credit management is that we want to continue our relationship after this. So I want to do business with you, but I want you to pay me on time, but I want to keep that relationship going. And there's a skill in that, to be able to collect money but still remain friends. So people would outsource their whole debtor book to us, and we would manage that end to end. So if somebody owes them €10, we're going to collect that. If someone owes them 10 million, we're also going to collect that, because every penny for them, that's their money. So we collect on their behalf. So there's no lowest, but I don't do one-off debt collection where someone says, this guy owes me 300 more, can you collect it from him? That's not our business. Our business is like credit management. So we also train sales staff on how to sell the product properly, how to make sure that the customer understands what the expectation is. So I sell to you today, I want to be paid in 30 days from date of invoice, your product is going to be delivered here, and that they understand the whole process. So it's an end-to-end. So we don't really have a lowest. If someone's owed €10, we'll call for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the next target client you want to get it? You can mention the name.
Okay. I originally wanted the very big companies, but I don't think I do now. I think that large SME sector is a really, really good fit for us. From a consultancy perspective, I would love the Microsofts and the Diageos and all of the big companies where I could go in and train their teams and, instill our ethos into them, because I think there's a new way of doing business. So I would like them for consultancy, but for the outsourced credit control, it's the large SMEs are a really, really good client for us. I do want to go into the UK next year, so we're already in the north of Ireland, which technically is another country, but I do want to move next year into the UK.
The UK market.
Yeah.
I think the UK market's a very big market.
Yeah.
If you are in, I am sure be very successful in UK market. I think it's a great idea if you move to UK market. It's very good, like we did it.
Yeah.
And then it's really, really good. Okay, we're going to move up as your business. Tell us about what's going to happen in the next 2 years in Ireland.
Like,
because
I think
there's rumors coming up, recession coming up, lockdown going to coming up.
I think regardless as to what happens, so if there is a recession, the advice I would give to people is cash flow and money in your business. Like, cash is king. Always make sure that you have a little buffer. I do think maybe there's a recession coming. What we are seeing now, because we're collecting outstanding invoices, we're ringing people asking for money. People are holding on to their money, so it's much more difficult to get money this year than it was last year, particularly in the second half of this year. I think people are nervous, so they're holding on to their money. Even like government bodies, they're holding on to money. That you used to ring a government body and you'd get paid straight away. Now they're questioning everything. I think everybody's looking at their budgets. Everybody's tightening their belts. So once you see that, like the government bodies are doing that, that will trickle down in Ireland to everywhere. So that's a sure sign that, you know...
Do you believe recession coming?
No, I don't. Like, I know all the markers are pointing to it, and like there's a war and times are difficult. I get all that, but I think if you focus on negative, you nearly create it. I think if people start saying it's going to be a recession, we'll create one. I think we have to be prepared for tough times.
When you say tough time, what do you mean a tough time?
Like,
because already, like, is everything expensive? Nothing else. Everything's went price to the roof.
Yeah.
Every single price, from the houses went to the roof, from the market went to the roof. You know, like,
to borrow money, it's difficult.
It's very difficult right now.
And that's why I would always advise people, look at your numbers. Like, always try and save where you can, even if it's 1 or 2%, because that percentage will go straight onto your profit margin. So look at your numbers now, tighten your belts. And there was a quote that I heard, and it was like, we do the best business in the worst time and the worst business in the best times.
Really good.
So that's what I think we need to prepare for. Look at your finances and think, where can I save money? Where can I increase profit? Like, look at what products or services that you're delivering are the most profitable.
How people can save money right now?
Like, look at where your spending is. Like credit. So if you say, if I'm borrowing money, if I want to borrow money today from the bank, shop around and look for your best interest rates. Shop around and look for your best like light, heat. Or can I get a better rate somewhere else? Like, there's always money to be saved somewhere. Am I spending money that I don't need? Where am I being wasteful in the business? Whether it be packaging, whether it be logistics. So look at every aspect of your business, and I guarantee you there's always money to be saved. But we've come from a very, very good time where a lot of people had a lot of cash and we weren't worried, we weren't looking at things. We accepted that's how much our insurance is. But all of the little things in your business, if you can save 1 or 2% everywhere, that could be 15 or 20% over your whole business. So I would always look at that. Can I outsource something that I'm not currently outsourcing? So focus on where you can save money. And I mean, look at every aspect of your business. Your borrowing, your bank fees, your light, heat, your rent, your rates. Is there something else I could do? Can I maybe move to a different part of the country? Whatever makes sense for your business. Where am I buying my product? Can I get that elsewhere that's cheaper? So look at everything, and don't be thinking 1 or 2%, it doesn't make a difference. It does when you look at everything across your business. So 1 or 2% feels like nothing, but 1 or 2% of everything is a lot. So that's what I would say to people. Start tightening your belts now and start acting in line with, okay, if there is a recession, am I recession proof? Do I have money at the end of every month of my business? Am I saving? Am I looking towards the future? Do I have a buffer in my business? So if I lose my biggest client tomorrow, do I have a buffer of cash in my business that I can say, okay, we have that there as a cushion if something does happen? So I would say to everybody, start doing that now. And if we have no recession, great. We increase our profit margin. If we do have a recession,
I hope the market will crash because it's profit for us.
Yeah.
You know,
it can be a good thing.
What's the, like, we talk about the people's salary in Dublin.
Yeah.
Right. What's average salary in Dublin is like 35,000 to 45k per year.
Yeah.
You know, and these people complain about it. You know, would you give some advice for a person? He make 35,000 and he pay rent like 1,600 euro per month, and how he can save? Because you talk about saving.
Yeah.
You can't save anything from that 35K.
So what I would say is for somebody like that, again, look at your spending. It's the small things when you go into a garage. Are you getting your diesel and a coffee? Like coffees are like €5. Sometimes we're wasting like a coffee a day then, you know, that's like 20, 30 quid a month, a week. So if you do that every day or 2 or 3 times a day or every day for the week, add that up over the month. Is it really worth it? I can guarantee you people can save money. Also thinking, is there something else I can do, like a side hustle? Is there something else that I can do in the evenings or at the weekends where I can make money? I don't know. People, I look at people and they have these like amazing ideas where they're doing things at the weekends or something else that you can do to make money. And have a look at that and see if there's an other way to make money, particularly if you're young, you don't have a family, so you've time. If I was to turn back the clock, I would like have 3 businesses if I was 20.
Because you talk about the young generation, like I just remember a quote like Alexander the Great, he was 25 years old.
Yeah.
He conquered the world.
Yeah.
And today, like the boys, like 18 or 19, they complain about like, oh, I have no time.
Yeah, they have time.
The recession, everything's too expensive. They don't want to do 3 job. Like they don't doesn't like 4 job. Like I was starting at once upon a time. I was working 3 job, like 110 hours per week. I don't see my family. I don't see my children. I don't see my friend or whatever the person I was so close to because I was working 110 hours per week. Like I still do the same things if it's happening again. If I lost everything today, 0 income. I will start it like in 3 years time. I'm going to be in the same spot.
Yeah, because but I was the same. I always worked 2 jobs. I used to work my daytime job when I was younger because I had children when I was young. I would come home from work, I would do the homework, all the mammy things, and then I would go to work at 10 o'clock at night and I would work nights. So I had 2 jobs always. And now, like, there's a lot of sacrifice for starting your own business. I don't socialise. I really mean that. I work and I spend time with my family.
You can't make time for social at all.
I don't socialise. So I made sacrifices. And you need to make sacrifices if you want to build a business and for the business to be successful.
And are you happy with it?
I am happy with it.
Say, like, you know, less than 5 years, like you brought your own business for a millions company, you know, like, and then you did successfully, you know, like you sacrificed your life, your family, you know, everything from you put everything in. You're all in, by the way. You're all in, risk it.
You have to be all in. And I think for the generation, you can't have a successful life and go partying and sit and watch Netflix and, you know, spend all your money. Like, you just can't. There has to be sacrifice. If you want to be successful, you have to say, I'm going to have to sacrifice something. Something has to be sacrificed.
What's your advice for a person, he made 30 years old, and you want to start in his life? What's your advice for them?
If he's 30 and he wants to start
over.
Start over.
Yeah.
I did, and I was 42 when I started over. You're never too old. I think people give up on themselves when they reach a certain age because we listen to society who says, like, only young people can be successful. You've a lot to bring the older you get because you've a lot of life experience. That was one thing, Abby, that I really thought. I was like, I'm not going to give up on myself because I'm 42 now. I was 42 when I started the business. I said, I'm not going to give up on myself. I still have 40 years of work, 50 years of work, and I don't want to be miserable for the rest of my life. So don't give up on yourself. If you need to upskill, learn something new. I read every book on marketing, on branding. I listened to every single podcast. I went to events. I, looked at who was doing good things on social media. Always keep your mind open to learning something new, no matter your age. I wouldn't care if you were 60 and you want to start a business. Start over again and start small. Like, every day, incorporate discipline into your life. You need to say, okay, what do I want? And how am I going to get there? And every day I would say, what am I doing today to reach that goal that I want to have in 5 years? I can't be sitting down watching Netflix and chilling and, going out with my mates and moaning about it. I have to go after what I want, and I have to be willing to sacrifice something. And so for anybody who wants to start over again, no matter your age, like, to me 30 is so young because I'm older, but that's just so young. You have time. And time is going to pass regardless.
I think people become, in general, like in age 30, they become mature. In age 30, they complete the mature enough, and then I think it's a great time for them to start business.
Yeah.
Back in our time, we don't have that much access to social media.
Oh my God.
There's everything is in there that they can search anything they want to search. They can learn online. They don't need to go get a degree about something.
No.
They can learn it. But I hope they can start something new. They do something positive on them life. Instead of they complaining, they get over do something about it.
Like YouTube is the best educator out there. I had to go to libraries back in the day and take out a book and read stuff. Now it's just so accessible on your phone. You can find out anything. Like when I wanted to learn about branding and marketing and selling, I just went onto YouTube. I downloaded podcasts. I downloaded audiobooks. It was easy. It's easy if you want it. You can make all the excuses in the world, but actually it's the best time in, I think, the history of the world to start a business. It's so easy. 2023
is almost end. I think 2024 is the most easy time you can make money.
Yeah.
This is it. Like, I don't understand why people cannot make money. It's the most easiest time you can, anything you want, you can get your phone and record something and post it. Anything you can take a picture of yourself, just keep posting it, and that's...
And like you've ChatGPT, you have all of the information there. If you're not good at spelling or writing, put it into Chat, it'll give you what you want. And I think the most of it, Abby, is about your mind, your mindset. If you think you can't, you can't. And if you think you can, you will.
What's planning Christmas? What's your planning Christmas?
Oh, okay. So this year I am at home with my family. Christmas is my favourite time of the year because all of my clients are off. All my staff are off. We are off from like the 22nd of December until the 2nd of January, so I can really rest. So I'm going to spend Christmas Day and Christmas Eve with my family, and then we're going away on the 27th for a few days, myself, my husband and my kids. So
okay.
Really chill out time.
What's the biggest plan you have in 2024? You can leak it.
Well, the biggest plan is to move into the UK, to get clients into the UK and really grow our brand there. That's my biggest goal for 2024. And I'll do it.
What's one thing you regret on your life?
Jeannie Mac. I stayed in a relationship way too long. I think that was my biggest regret. And I was very young, kind of into my late 20s.
But I think it's never late. You started very good.
Yeah, I wish I just had left a little bit earlier maybe. But I did learn a lot from that. I still don't regret the relationship. I think it was really good for me and I learned a lot. But I probably stayed too long.
What's one thing you give advice right now for a woman like yours?
For a woman? Mm-hmm. I think stand into your power. Don't listen to stereotypical ideas of what women should be. And don't be frightened to be strong and say what you think. It's been very difficult. So for me, I'll say this now, this is a topic I'm very passionate about.
Guys, focus on this topic.
Okay. So for me, I grew up in a generation where women weren't, like my mother wasn't allowed to work when she got married. So we were still brought up in that generation where we were taught to look after men. And when we first came into the workforce in offices, even as a senior manager, I was asked to make tea and coffee because I was a woman. But we were sort of brainwashed to think that that was okay. So when I was 16, 17 and I worked in a pub, it was really acceptable for guys to pinch your bum and make sexual remarks about you. That was all okay. The generation now wouldn't accept that. But I think some women and men still have that idea in their head that women don't belong in the business world, or women aren't as strong as men, or women have less to add in business, where we are different than men, but what we bring is powerful. And we do bring a feminine energy to business, but that's a really, really good thing. So don't be afraid of your feminine energy.
I think I'm going to disagree and agree with you. Okay. When you say about working for a man, I think right now in this society, woman has more power, more than a man.
Do you think?
100%. 100%.
See, that's just your perspective.
Okay, if you tell me right now, what's between me and you different? Nothing. You have more law on your side.
What's different?
You have more. If I'm going to take one picture right now, put it on my Instagram, I'm gonna get like a 10 like.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how expensive my clothes or how I look, okay? But the same picture you're gonna take, you receive hundreds like.
I don't think that's. I don't think
It's
that
honest.
it's
Trust
not.
me on that.
I'll tell you what's very difficult for women. It's to get respect from men. So I have to work twice as hard. If I walk into a room with you at a business meeting, people will assume that you're the boss and I'm not. They will automatically give the man respect and not the woman. So I have to work twice as hard to get the respect as you do. I have walked into business meetings where somebody is my employee and they talk to him and they think he's the boss and I work for him just because I'm the woman. So it's very, very difficult for us to gain respect from in the business world. So many times, Abby, people have said to me, "You're a great girl." And I'm like, oh my God. So it is very, very difficult. And I think women get a lot more hate from other women if they're successful. Because people always ask me, how do you manage your family life? Do people ever ask you that? They always ask the woman, because the expectation is that I should be taking care of my husband and my children, but they never ask a man the same thing. They always ask a woman. So it is very, very difficult for women.
Do you know, because the reason they asking you, are you look after your family? Because I think a woman has more power in a manhood, in a family. You know, I think a woman can control the whole house.
Yeah.
Okay, it doesn't matter who's in the house, who's the boss, who bring more money or more income in the house. It still is up to the woman, I think. Woman control the house. Woman build the family, not the man. Like man, we can work outside. We are outside worker. But the energy you have, like you can have this show tonight, you can work like 18 or 19 hours, you're going to go home. You have the same energy, put it inside the house. But as a man, I don't have the same energy you have. Like I work 19 hours and don't want to go home and cook as well. Yeah. I don't have that energy. Woman has some gift. That's the reason they're asking you, how to look after your family.
But it's also the expectation of that you should be at home looking after your family. And why are you not at home? And you get judged by men and women for working outside of the home. It is difficult for women. I'm not saying that it's not difficult for men. It's a different thing. But now the expectation from women is really high. You should be at home looking after your kids, but you also better look good. Don't look tired. Don't be too loud. Like, be respectful, but not, So it's very, very difficult for women, I think, and I know because I live it. It's to gain the same respect that men automatically get because they're men. And women have to work so hard to get that. And like what I have seen men overlook women. They can't see past the woman's face or her body or whatever it is. So they see a different thing. They'll give a man more respect than they will a woman. And it has happened to me so many times. Now, I don't see it as it's just part of life. It's the way it is. And I think younger guys are definitely better. And younger women, they have a different experience than we have had. But the conditioning that women have had for generations in this country, in other countries, it's very hard to take those shackles off.
I think I disagree with you with this part. Because as a man I am, and then we have a lot of women, in our team. Like, it's very respectful, like yourself. Like we don't look at a woman, and I thought like a woman is equal. If it's any man successful in this life, in this journey, I think he has a woman behind him. If it's like you're successful, I'm sure your husband do the other half of your job. Like we need an office, like he can look after things. Like it's going to be work as a team ways.
Yeah.
Okay. But in this society, they put an injection in a woman brain. Woman has less power. I'm like disagree. Well, I think woman is higher than a man.
I don't think that she has less power than a man. From they don't have less power than a man. We're as powerful as each other.
Yeah, woman has a lot of power in this society right now. Like a very society right now, because when they say woman, when you talk to them, I hate this word. When the woman say, even include my daughter, and when they say, my kids say to me, Daddy, I want to be independent, and I don't like this word.
Why?
Because I want to say, they can say, I want to be successful. Instead of they say independent.
But do you know why you feel like that, Abby?
You know, the reason why is, if you look her up, the divorce rate to the roof is 42%. Only one word in Ireland, UK. If you look it up, is in UK is a 42%. Why? Because of this word, the woman tell the husband, "I want to be independent. I don't need you." And if you look up, there is so much divorce happen up, and there's so much woman singling because of this word.
But why, if the man isn't threatened by that? So if you have a man, if you have a man who is in his power, who is confident in his masculinity, he isn't threatened by a woman who's independent. He's happy.
Why are you not going to say you want to be successful? Why are you not going to say you want to be a businesswoman? You know, I teach my two girls.
Abby, because women weren't independent for so long. In Ireland in the 70s, women couldn't have a bank account. They weren't allowed. So they need to feel independent to break those, like, historical, like, we weren't allowed to we weren't allowed to vote, we weren't allowed to have a job. So I think they want to feel that they can be independent. I think a woman and a man together is a beautiful thing.
It's amazing.
You live in harmony. I love masculine men. I respect men. I think they're fantastic. I don't want to tear down men. I don't think that, like, I'm a hardcore feminist, but I think we have to think of things look at things from each other's perspective. You look at things from your male perspective, and I look at things from my female perspective. But we have to open our ears and listen to each other, and say, I understand why a woman would feel like that, and we need to help them, like, feel that it's okay.
There is other women, they're not educated as you are. Okay. As more successful you are, they only can see is not maybe the jealousy or something when they say, like, "Oh, Sharon is like businesswoman." They never say that the hard work she put her in. The husband help him up. The kids gonna help him up. She has a beautiful team, successful woman, and a beautiful personality. They only use that. Okay, she's independent. I want to be independent. This is a wrong word, I think.
I just think you're obsessing about the independent piece. Two people who are independent are that's the best kind of relationship.
I don't call myself independent.
Yeah, like we like a team will work together, but if I need to know that you're okay without me, and you need to know that I'm okay without you.
Are you independent, or are you successful as a woman?
I'm probably. I never thought of it. Am I independent? Can I be independent? Like, I'm codependent, I'm married. So I depend on my husband and he depends on me. But if he died tomorrow, am I okay? And does he know that I would be okay? If he died tomorrow, he knows she'll be fine. She'll be fine without me. And I want him to know that, and I know that he'll be fine without me, because we also can be independent, but we come together as a unit, as both very strong, independent.
You see, this is the first woman I ever met in my life has different thought about independent, and you're the first one.
Okay.
I'm going to sing congratulations.
Okay. So that's what I think. I think it's important for us all to be, because I don't want him to worry that if he's not there that I won't be okay. That's too much for him. I want him to feel she'll be okay and I'll be okay, but we also really rely on each other. Mm-hmm. And it's a beautiful thing when people can be like that, but there shouldn't be I depend on him too much or he depends on me. I think you're overthinking the independent.
I think it's a 50-50, like husband and wife. And then the other woman, they always like independent. They just look it up, like your social media, the way, the car you drive, the bag you have, the holiday you go. Yeah. And they don't turn around the same thing. They should want to have it, and it's impossible.
Yeah.
Okay, it's impossible. Like, the man works so hard, and the woman, she works so hard. They don't have that income, have the same holiday you can have, or the Gucci bag you have, or the Michael Kors watch you have, and she cannot have it. And they start with war going to happening in the family, and the divorce going to go high in this.
Like I don't think I think that's like an education piece. Like, if you have a really strong relationship, you're going to discuss money, what we can afford. You're going to know this. I would never. I hate to see women who say, I hear this thing, high value men and high value women. I don't know what that means. Two people together high value for me, a high value man is someone who loves me, respects me, and we can build something together. And I think anybody who puts anybody, male or female, under pressure to give them something financially, that's wrong. If you want something, you work together as a unit to get it. I wouldn't look to a man and say, I want you to buy me a bag. You should be. I think that's the wrong way to have it. I think the best marriages in the world are where people come together. They decide, do we need a Gucci bag? No. But do we want maybe to have a nice holiday? What are we going to do together to get there?
See, the way you describe it is different.
And that's the way, and it's mindset. But
I think you should talk about your Instagram about this more.
Yeah.
Give something people can listen from you, to learn from you as successful you are.
Yeah, and I think that's what successful marriages, people come together. Men and women shouldn't be at war like that. I think if it's built on respect, love, and we both have goals, fantastic. And if one person wants to stay at home and one person wants to go to work, fantastic. I'm going to support you and you're going to support me. But there has to be that mutual respect. And I think what happened, women for so long, they weren't allowed. They weren't allowed.
Well, you can't get a revenge because now like 30 or 40 years ago, now you're going to get a revenge of it. I think it's a mistake.
I think there's so many women who are different. There's a gentler way of looking at it, like mine. It doesn't have to be like a war. You're this and we're that. It can be, the best relationships are two people coming together where they can both hear each other and see things from each other's perspective. And that's how I would see it. Men and women do love each other. And that's how a relationship should be. But I'm not demanding anything of you and you're not demanding anything of me. But we're both beautiful in our own way, and then we come together as two whole people, nobody dependent on anybody else to that level. It's too much pressure.
Thank you. One advice to the man. How would he make the woman happy?
How would a man make a woman happy? Be happy himself. Be happy himself. If a man is happy, well, whole, he'll make a woman happy if he's a good communicator. If a man is damaged, insecure, negative, he's not going to be, and not happy in himself, you can't make anybody happy. You have to make yourself happy first. Two happy people coming together, fantastic. Two damaged people coming together, disaster. So I think men need to be happy, confident and strong and believe in themselves, and then they'll only attract the same.
One more advice before we go wrap this up. The younger generation, between age 15 to 18. One advice for them.
Don't be afraid of hard work.
They're wasting time. They're only focusing a lot about the social media, makeup. They don't, they don't go out or read book or do something, exercise to make life better for them.
I think that's the thing. Get out, meet people. Learn how to shake hands and look somebody in the eye. They're missing a lot of social skills that we would have learned when we were younger. But don't be afraid of hard work. Don't believe that when you see somebody who's lying on the beach and saying, I work 10 hours a week, and that's not how it works. There's sacrifice and hard work that went in behind that. There's probably 0.5% of people that got lucky and made $1 million, but most people have to work hard and learn to enjoy the process of working hard. There's a kind of a beauty and meditation in that, but enjoy that. Stop focused on the outcome and enjoy the process of life, of business, of building something.
Beautiful, beautiful. I hope everybody listen, and wishing everyone have a beautiful year 2024 and in 2023. My question is all done. Thank you so much. Now you have a mic for a few minutes, all yours. Whatever you want to say, it is all yours.
What do I want to say? I don't know, just thanks for being here. I enjoyed the conversation, and I think I would like people to, men and women, to come together better and stop having this hate for each other. I see it all the time. What is a high value woman? What is a high value man? We're all high value. We're humans.
You're equal.
We're equal.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.